This year we're going to take a look at a holiday gift guide for real techies. Check out some of these items. First on the list is Supermicro's CSE M28 mobile rack. It houses 8 2.5-inch removable disks. These could be SAS or SATA drives, and I plan on putting in some Seagate Savio 15K hard disk drives along with some Micron M500 DC SSDs. To use the mobile rack, all you need is a pair of empty 5¼ inch drive bays. It'll slide right in there and you just lock it down like a normal drive. On the back are a pair of mini SAS connectors, and I plan on connecting those to an LSI MegaRAID SAS 9361 controller. It just requires a pair of cables and you're up and running. Definitely the thing to upgrade anybody's server or high-powered workstation. For those doing a little debugging, check out BitScope's BitScope Micro. It's only about 149 bucks. It's a USB-based scope and logic analyzer. It has a 20 megahertz bandwidth. It has 6 channels for the logic analyzer and 2 channels for the analog scope. The logic analyzer software can decode standard protocols for UARTs, SPI, and CAN. It's kind of neat because it can plug into things like a Raspberry Pi, for example. And the remote server software allows something like the Raspberry Pi Model B Plus to handle 4-bit scopes. The Raspberry Pi has been very popular, and the latest Model B Plus still has the ARM11 based Broadcom BMC SoC with 512 megabytes of RAM. It's got a new fast Ethernet controller though, and the new board layout provides more I/O, and it also has a new micro SD socket. It's lower powered, requires less than a watt, and it has 4 USB ports. What more could you want? For those that really want to get their hands wet on the USB 3.0, there's the Easy USB FX3 from Cypress Semiconductor. The neat thing about this is it's got an ARM core, but it really acts more as a traffic cop because USB 3 can really push the bandwidth through. Trying to figure out how to use this neat little thing is a lot easier if you get the SUPERSPEED Device Design by Example book by John Hyde. This is designed as a companion piece to this particular USB kit. The Ozobot was a big hit at this year's Consumer Electronics Show. It's finally available, and it's a neat little toy about the size of a quarter. It's a small robot that actually follows lines, and it's designed to be a game-playing piece. You can play all sorts of games, either draw lines on a piece of paper and it can follow them around, or you can put it on top of a tablet and have it run on lines that are being put up by an application. It comes with a number of apps that you can use and different games that can be played. Check out Digilent's ZYBO if you want to experiment with Xilinx's Zinc chip. This is an FPGA that also has 2 hardcore Cortex A9 microcontrollers inside. Nice thing about the ZYBO is that it's got a bunch of PMOD connectors around the outside so that you can attach peripherals to it. They have 5 or 10 pin headers. You can control all sorts of things from displays, switches, servos, and so on. And they just plug in and you can now control them using the Xilinx FPGA. Looking to play with some virtual reality technology? You may want to check out Samsung's Gear VR Innovator. It's only about 200 bucks, but you happen to have a Samsung Note 4 because it's actually going to use that by placing it right in front of your eyes. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of noticeable latency because it actually uses the gyros within the Note 4. So if you really want to get something that's cutting edge, move up to the Oculus Rift DK2. This has now added a secondary head tracking camera so that as you're moving, it's very quick in terms of detecting where your head is positioned. The Oculus Rift DK2 has a low persistent OLED display. Each eye has a display resolution of 960 by 1080. There's a built-in latency tester into the system, and it has support for all sorts of game engines like the Unity 4. Wrapping up, we have the low-cost Arduino. This is based on the Arduino architecture, but in a new small form factor. The base unit has a Cortex M0 with 128K flash and 8K bytes of ROM, and a Bluetooth low-energy radio. It's stackable, uses the standard IDE, and it has all sorts of different shields. You'll need the USB shield to actually do development, but it also has battery support and controls for everything from servos to relays. For more ideas on techie gifts, check out our links to other Penton Media holiday gift guides.